Okay.
Okay, there you go. Hi, Rish. Hi,
Hi,
everybody. Thank you for
good
that
morning
wonderful
to you
introduction. Yeah, good morning.
anytime. How are you this morning? How's
Oh,
Canada?
I'm doing great, doing great. It's a little bit cold here. It's already spring, but it's still
Mm,
cold, but it's fine, it's fine. I'm inside.
it's the total opposite here. It's really hot.
Yeah,
Actually,
I've
it's
heard.
it
I've heard.
is above 30 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Well,
Oh,
Philippines. So yes, Lay. Um, what do you call this?
oh. Fire away,
I'm
you know?
sure as you have been in the freelancing industry. Sorry.
Yeah, just go ahead.
So you have been in the freelancing industry for, yeah. I hope my internet is fine, but okay. Anyhow, so yes, you have been in the freelancing industry since 2015, and I'd like to ask, how did you start your career in the freelancing world?
Okay, well, prior to freelancing business, so take note, the first thing VA should remember is freelancing is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was that mindset that helped me progress as a freelancer. So anyway, prior to freelancing, I helped my parents run our school after I finished a business management degree from the University of the Philippines. And then, so you see, professionally and personally, I have like three values, my core values. It's love, learn, and lead. And then it's actually the love for my children. So it's very fitting. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. It's actually the love for my children that made me go into freelancing.
Exactly.
So back in 2015, my eldest son was
Mm,
starting grade school, and then my son was turning 2 years old. And then I knew in my heart that I want to be there for my children, like in every school activity. You know how in the Philippines we have the nutrition month,
you
buwan
know,
ng wika. Like every month we have activities. I don't want them to
right.
grow up with just their yaya, and I wanted to be present in their lives. And the way I saw that, how to
Mm,
make that happen was to become a stay-at-home mom. Now, I got into freelancing upon the prodding of my
mhm.
aunt. She was a team lead for a SaaS company. So SaaS, it's like a software as a system. It's a company, and then so from corp to online, right? So I had no online skills, and of course I had no experience with the online world. I've been working like in my
Mm,
parents'
yeah,
business for
yeah.
9 years, so I had no idea how it works online. So that's important to note because I'm not a tech
Mm-hmm.
person. And then actually I wanted to share, this is embarrassing to admit, but I didn't have even like a Gmail account. It was that bad. And then my internet knowledge was just using
When
social
you
media platforms.
started.
Yeah, when I started, like I was really incompetent. Yeah, to the point that during my onboarding with my first client,
Okay, okay.
he sent me the credentials, and I didn't know even how to reset the password in Zendesk. Like Zendesk, it's a customer service software where
Mm,
for you to create your account, you need a username and a password. And I can't forget that the client was so
yeah.
furious with me. He said, "Oh, come on, this is not rocket science. Like that is embarrassing. I didn't even know how
Mm,
to reset a password." So that's important also. Like when, you're
oh,
going to
okay.
apply for a yeah. So when you're going to apply for a position, please familiarize yourself with the tools that the company is using so that you'll know how to work your way around their systems.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
anyway,
True,
yeah.
true, true.
Anyway,
Yes.
so I then started as an email support. Then after a month, I was promoted to phone support. And then at that time, my pay was $2.50 per hour. So it was Upwork. And then I was
Mm,
promoted to $3 per hour. but I was already so happy to be earning dollars, and then I'm just working from home, right?
Back in
So
2015. Yeah, right.
yeah, so it was in Upwork, and then we had unlimited time. I mean, not limited like 40 hours. We can like max our time. So what I did was I spent most of my time training, and then I learned the ins and outs of the business, of their software. So long story short, a little over a year, I got promoted as a team leader for the off office hours, and then at that time, I reached the salary ceiling for the company, and then the client took me out of Upwork. And then, yeah, that's when I felt there was no more room for growth. And then I hungered for more. So that's when I started enrolling in a VA class. I wanted to learn, I wanted to see if I can learn another
Oh.
skill. Yeah. And then the first lesson that was taught to
Mhm.
us, or that I implemented rather, was increasing your rate. So I was from like $2
Mm.
50 cents to $3, and then the maximum I had was $5. So what I did was I went to Upwork, and then I increased my rate to $8 per hour. So I was like, will someone like invite me? To my surprise, I got invites for
Mhm.
interview.
After a
So
year.
yeah, after that was 20 I started freelancing February 2015, and then that was October 2016. So I already like more than doubled, imagine, from $2 to $8. So from there it became a pattern
Right,
where
right.
if I'd earn more, I would invest in courses. So back then, 2016, the road to 100K was like the ultimate goal, not just for me, but for a lot of freelancers, hitting that 100,000 six-figure thing. So I enrolled in a master class, and
Right,
then,
right.
yeah, the name for that was actually Road to 100K Masterclass. So that's when I learned that freelancing is a
Mm.
business. So, like, you're not an employee. You should dictate your rate, you should dictate your hours and
Right.
your terms. Hmm. So over the years, Rish,
Yes, yes.
I've bounced from one skill to another, trying the right one that is fit for me. And then, like, I've even experienced being a social media manager. So I took social media management courses. I've been a project manager, operations. I even did sales. Oh my God, I was terrible at it. And then finally found that my love was being an integrator, which is like the middleman between the business owners and virtual assistants.
Mm-hmm.
So what I focus now on is
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
online business management, which is an online business manager is a virtual based senior professional who manages the day-to-day activities of online based businesses. So that would include managing team members, the operations, and project managers. So yeah, that's me. Right now, I'm doing training for director of operations. Hopefully I will get certified this year as well. So that's how
I
it's a
believe you
long,
will
long
be.
story. It's a long career. Sorry about
I
that.
I know, but with that, it's okay. I'm sure the viewers right now, they like what they're hearing because I'm sure they can relate to where you started and where you are
Yes.
now. I'm sure that's also where they aspire to be, right? We always start small, but I love the wisdom that you said there that after every increase that you set for yourself, you invest it for learning, for upskilling. And I
Mm.
think that's the reason why you are where you are now, because you really invest on learning, you're investing on yourself. And I hope that the viewers right now would really be able to take that to heart. So, Lay, you are a certified online business manager. You are in Canada. You have worked with several clients, both in the US, in Canada, and probably even outside. And you have interviewed definitely so many assistants. What are the common mistakes virtual assistants make in an interview?
Oh yeah, so there are several actually. And then what's glaring is like you mentioned earlier I work with proximity placements, right? So we do interview we hire also virtual assistants. So I also know the feeling of
Mm-hmm.
being like on the other end of the interview. So like common and you can't believe like they're being late or even not showing up for the interview. And without proper communication, like they can't come or whatever happened to them. So us interviewers will just be waiting for them, and then like, what's going on? Is that person even gonna show up? So there are actually instances like that where
Mm-hmm.
some VAs they don't show up to the interview, and then
I
of course the
see.
common mistake, yeah, not doing your research about the company and
Mm,
also their role. Like you should have enough information to ask questions, and to so that you can demonstrate how you might add value. So do your due diligence and then
mm,
research the position that you're applying for, as well as the company that you want to be into. And then there's also
mm.
a couple of instances, Rish. It wasn't during an interview, but we sometimes require sending video applications. You should be like dressed decently. There were applicants who were wearing nighties in their video application.
Oh,
That was, yeah,
seriously? Really?
yeah, wearing like, it's not even
Okay.
pajama, it's like the
So
duster.
not really appropriate, yeah, for
Exactly. There are virtual assistants who,
oh, okay, all right. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we've experienced that. And then another thing as well is
Mm-hmm. I see that.
yeah. And then another thing as well is when you're being too nervous and then you're not answering
Mm-hmm.
exact questions asked. So like you should listen properly and attentively. Some of them like were asking about that,
Oh,
and there you are. Probably you have prepared your answers ahead of time, or I don't know. But you're like, that's not the question. You're not answering the
they've
question.
memorized.
So yeah, memorize. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's obvious when it's memorized. So yeah, that one also. Like listen properly, be
True.
attentive to the. Mhm. And then poor internet
Mm.
connection. I mean, it's not our fault, especially in the Philippines, but knowing that our internet connection in the Philippines is not stable, so you should always have a backup. Because the least you can do is have a
Mm.
backup in case the connection goes bad. Because the business owners are busy, so that's why they're hiring virtual assistants. So please respect their time too. Like because not all business owners will grant you a reschedule. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, your internet connection that time was bad, and then
Right.
too bad they've already interviewed other people. They're not going to consider you or whatever. So have a backup. And then another thing also is if you're lying about your credentials, like you're saying that you're capable or you have experience in
Mm.
something that you have no idea about or have not done before, because it's huge and a costly mistake. Some clients might hire you and then you just get fired in a week. I've experienced that. Like they say these are what they've done, blah blah blah, but then when they're on the actual work, they're like clueless. So like you mentioned this in your resume and all,
Mm.
so the client
In
just
your credential, yeah.
yeah, don't lie ever on your credentials. If you don't know something, just be honest
Right,
about it. The
right,
client will be more than happy.
right.
So yeah, I think those are like the common
True,
mistakes
true.
that we've experienced so far in interviewing virtual assistants.
Mm, okay. I hope that everyone who are tuning in right now will really remember those things. And if ever you have some questions for Leah here, please feel free to leave it on the chat box because we can read them later on. So now, Leah, let me go on to what do foreign clients usually look for in a VA?
Okay, so everything can be learned. So what is important is the right attitude and the values of the virtual assistant. From what I've observed, foreign clients really value integrity. Integrity, so meaning, you have the right, what is integrity? Like you're being honest, you have the right morals and ethics. That's
Mm,
important because they're
mm,
bringing you into
mm.
their business. They want someone who has high integrity.
Right.
And then another important also is like someone who values time and meets deadlines. So as a virtual assistant, you're like the right hand of the client. So they're expecting
The
you to
business
be
owner.
able to deliver, yeah, to deliver, and then also value their time. And then also,
Right.
they also look for virtual assistants who can ask relevant questions. Like not really like you're just asking questions for the sake of asking things, but don't pretend that you know it all. Like a common mistake for us Filipinos is we're embarrassed to ask questions or to clarify the instructions of a
True.
client. That's very common.
Right.
Yeah, even me, I still
Yeah.
hesitate sometimes. I want to analyze it, but sometimes the instruction of the our clients are not that clear. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
just make an effort and then ask. Don't pretend that you know it all because you might just end up screwing everything. So yeah, they want that in a virtual assistant, someone who can um ask relevant questions and then clarify if you don't understand, so that everything will go smoothly in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that's
that's also part of, yeah, thank you. I think that's also part of showing your communication skills, because if
correct.
you are able to, clarify something, then at least you are showing that you really listened, and at the same time you are trying to it's like returning whatever you have understood to the client. So
Correct.
great. Now, Lay, let me move on to name top three in demand, high paying careers right now in the freelancing industry. Because you've tried a lot of, what do you call this, things in the freelancing industry.
Yeah. Actually, this is difficult to answer. Because when you say high paying careers, well, actually, a freelancer's rate for me is dependent on what you think your value is and your confidence in showing your client your perceived value. What I mean by that is, there are virtual assistants who earn $5 to $6 per hour, but depending on how you market yourself and how
Right,
active you are, your ability to solve the problem, the pain point of the client, how you're able to show that you're
right.
able to show value. So you can even charge as high
Mm-hmm.
as $1,500 per month, not do the hourly
True,
charge.
true.
So there's a difference. But in
Yeah.
general, for me, the in demand, high paying careers right now, as always, it's always the website designers and developers, website design and development. And then social media management and marketing is also big. I have so many clients that are looking for social media managers, but in the marketing side, so
True.
that includes knowledge in paid advertising, Facebook ads, especially e-commerce stores. They're always looking for great Facebook ad managers. Google Ads is also there, so that's still under the social media. And
Mm-hmm.
I see that
Yeah,
YouTube Ads is also gaining traction right now. So, and then the third is
it is
any
definitely.
YouTube. And then the third, anything related to operations, like the operations manager, project managers, and OBMs. Those are high paying careers also. So yeah, so website design and development,
Mm.
social media marketing and management, and operations related.
I'm happy that among the top three is social media management and marketing, because that's the course that I'm offering. So, I mean, I think this will
No, I
really be here to stay, because every business, right, would love to have a presence in any of these social media platforms. So
definitely
it's
visibility.
essential in their businesses. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially
Okay.
even
So
regardless of the status,
mhm.
sorry. Yeah, regardless of the
It's okay.
situation of
It's
the
okay.
business,
Go ahead.
whether you're yeah, whether you're a startup or you're already big there, you always need clients, so your business has to be visible. That's why social media will always be there.
Mhm.
So yeah, go ahead to the next
Right,
question. Sorry,
right.
Irish.
And yeah, it will be there to stay. I mean, I'm like moving at a fast pace. As much as I want to keep on talking, I have a lot
Yeah.
of questions here.
Oh
So,
wow.
and we don't really have the luxury of time, but I'm sure it won't be your first, right? Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, moving on to the next question is, how about the top three skills that a VA must aspire?
For the top three soft skills, it's accountability, your meaning your sense of responsibility, and then your communication skills, of course, that's always important, and your time management skills. Now for the skills that
Mm,
they must know, like the hard skills, for virtual assistant, organization is very, very important, and then ability to research, so that if you don't know what to do, go to Google, research it or whatever, find ways you can find the answer. And writing skills is also important.
oh, okay, writing skills. I see. But what do you call this? I think communication is
Communication,
a very like non-negotiable skill,
for
right?
sure.
Considering that what we aspire for in the freelancing industry would work for foreign clients. Okay, so now this is the topic that we have tonight. So you've shared to us the in demand the jobs right now, and at the same time, what are these skills a VA must prepare? So, how should, I mean, aspire? So, how should a VA prepare for clients?
Okay, so there are actually, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, okay? Oh, what was that? There are two routes for this, depending on your personality and the vision you have for your freelancing business. So, the first type is if you're the kind of freelancer who wants to go after clients, you want freelancing to be your main thing. What you should do first, like after you enroll in a course, what to do next, right? So first is you identify your mission, vision, and your values. So your mission means what you
Mm,
do, who you serve, how you serve them, how you'll be targeting them, how you'll be bringing value. So that
mhm,
is knowing your,
mhm,
so basically that's knowing your offer, what skill you want to focus on. And then you should know your market or your
right.
industry that you'll be targeting. And then your marketing efforts on how you can also help them. So once you've dialed that
Yeah.
in, the next step is you optimize your profiles across all platforms. So your profile must reflect what you want your prospects or potential clients to see. So be mindful of the things that you post online, and then you should have your elevator pitch or your about me. It should be optimized as well. Sorry. Optimize your cover photo, like in your Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever. That's important because when they go to your profile, they'll check you out, they'll know what you have to offer. It's important because there
Right,
are
right.
clients that check you out before they would hop on a call with you. So another
True,
is
true.
yeah, next step would be once your profiles are optimized, next is prospecting. So this means you can check your network, your friends, you reach out to them, your family, let them know that you're freelancing now and see if they need your help or they know someone who needs your the skills that you're currently offering. So that's a good
Mhm,
point for
mhm.
referrals. And then once you've reached out to your friends, your family, and everyone, you're just putting the word out there that you're doing this now, just in case they know someone who needs help. So that's one way of prospecting. And then once you've exhausted your family and friends, next is you can do an outreach. So find out where your target market is hanging out. Like you join Facebook, LinkedIn groups, where your ideal client. Remember the first step I said identify your target market. So you should know where they hang out, so that that's where you'll also hang out. You will post valuable posts, or you comment on the prospects post. You should just be visible, and eventually you will be known as the go-to for that skill or service that you're offering. Because what has worked for me is I've said that this is like I do recruitment, I do team management. So in Facebook groups, if there's someone looking for that, they tag me. So that's what I do. I hang out in Facebook groups where my ideal
Mm,
clients are hanging out. Like that's where they are. I provide them value. If they have questions,
mm,
if I know the answer, I try to answer. So it helps because you'll be
yeah,
known as like the go-to expert. Or you need team, they'll remember. Oh, it's Leah. Go there, something like that. So basically, just make a
right,
plan.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the last is like make a plan. Just
Mm-hmm.
like any business, you should have a strategy. Create your daily plan of action. Like you outline your process. Meaning, how would you try to think how you get leads, and then if you close a client, do you have an onboarding process? Do you have a template for your strategy strategy documents or your proposal? And then, when you hop on a discovery call, do you already have your script? So how will you follow up also if you don't close the prospect? Because even if they say no to you now, you can follow up 3 months after or whatever. They might be
Later
interested in your
on.
script. Yes. So things like that, you have to have a plan.
Mm,
So again, you have to be clear on
right.
your market, your skill, and then you optimize your profiles. You do your network outreach, reach out to, or find out where your market is hanging
Target
out,
market.
and then give value. Yeah, do value posts, and just plan your business. Now, the second type of freelancer, because
True.
not all have the guts to do that, right? I mean, it's embarrassing to be like going to Facebook groups and posting and
Yeah.
posting. Not all, yeah. If you just want to be like passive
About
with your
yourself, right?
freelancing, yeah. If you just want to be passive with your freelancing business, and you just want to apply to job if there are job posts online, instead of actively putting yourself out there, my tips would be first, read the job description and make sure you're a good fit, because you might not be a good fit and you're applying for that one. So obviously, you won't be even granted an interview.
It
And
won't
then
work for
again,
you.
yeah, and again, research about the company. That's the main thing. I mean, it's basic, so that you will know if it's a good company that you want to be in for the long term, and also so that once you're already talking with a business owner, you know what you're talking about. And then always prepare your
Mm,
elevator pitch, like, "Hi, I'm Leah."
pitch.
You just have, so you know what your offer is, how you solve your problem. It's so that you know how to present
Mm,
yourself. It's
mm,
projecting how you are the best person for the position. And then
mhm.
another thing, if you don't have experience, right? Like you just came off a course, you don't have
Right,
an
right.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you do is you practice your skill in your, the skill that you've chosen in your own business. For example, like
Mm-hmm.
that's already a portfolio. Like for example, a virtual assistant. One of the skills or the task always is email management or inbox management. So right now you can go to your Gmail, you organize your inbox. Organize meaning you do tags, and you do color coding or whatever you do there to show that you know how
Put
to navigate your way.
folders. Yeah.
Yes, to
Stars
show exactly. So you know how
around.
to navigate your way around that. Or if you are, you want to be a social media manager, and then you just got off the social media management course. So go to your social media profiles, then increase your social media presence. Because it will be proof alone that you're an effective social media manager if you're able to grow your following. So yeah, building your profile there, you can practice on that. So I think those are my tips on how virtual assistants can prepare for clients.
Very valuable, rich tips there. And those are, I believe, those are not just opinions, because They are best practices that you have
Yes.
gained all over the years. Definitely, when you started back in 2015, freelancing was not as big as it is now, correct?
Yes, that's true. Now there are more opportunities
But
as well,
mhm,
especially. Mhm.
mhm. Yeah, sorry, more
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah, especially during the
Mhm.
lockdown, because what we experience is like with the lockdown, so the physical stores or everything from the offices, they're moving like home office or whatever. So there are more people looking for virtual assistants right now. That's just what I've observed.
Yeah. Um, I'm always reading a lot of these like business websites, and freelancing is here to stay. It's basically the future of work. It's the future of you
True.
having a career. I'm
I
sure all
agree.
of these business in one way or another will really shift or move digital. So they are actually in the very best time right now. So now I would like to go to, you mentioned this one earlier, but you, and that would be, what can you say to those to who are thinking twice rather about a freelancing career? Like they want to dip their toes, at the same time they just, oh, okay, I think that's not for me. I would like to have,
Yeah.
like a more stable job, because this is something new to most people. I've heard it because it's already well advertised online in Facebook, but you that has been in this career for more than 5 years, and you have continually upskilled, what can you say to those who are thinking twice about this freelancing career?
Maybe what I could say, like this is for me personally because it goes back to my why. I'm freelancing because I want to be free.
Mm-hmm,
With freelancing, I get
mm-hmm, mm.
time freedom. I can work anytime I want. Location freedom. I can work anywhere I want. And money freedom. There is no limit to how much money I
Mhm.
can earn. So as you mentioned, I understand that this is not the type of career for everyone. And then if you're thinking twice about hopping onto the freelancing bandwagon, first, of course, you have to ask yourself, uh, if this is for you. If you're a freelancer, as I said, I've always emphasized it's a business. You have a business. So you're an entrepreneur. Is this the kind of life that you're willing to embrace? If you're a freelancer, you might have time freedom, but it can also mean that if there are emergencies or urgent things, then you could pull an all-nighter. Whereas in corporation, you just work 9 to 5, you clock out at 5 p.m. But if it's for your own business, it may mean sleepless nights too. And then when you're freelancing,
True,
you have to
sleepless
have thick
nights.
skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have thick skin. What that means is you'll encounter a lot of no's, and that's fine if you get a lot of rejections and failures. The biggest challenge actually for me,
Right.
it's motivating myself and staying positive. But with that, there's also a solution. To be motivated, you just keep learning, always be learning, because someone might say no to your general virtual assistant offer. But if you keep learning other skills and offer them another skill later on, then you might close that client. And then another thing, if you join masterminds, so if you can, surround yourself with
Mm-hmm.
people who are equally motivated and sharing the same journey with you, because that will keep you sane. Like, for example, if you just
Right.
have your husband, your
Yes.
parents, your family, friends who are not into freelancing, they cannot relate. And then
They
they don't
want.
know the challenges that we are
That's true.
experiencing. So if you are in a mastermind or even like a
Yes.
group of friends who are freelancers, have that. kind of support system, because you'll be
Mm,
able to share with your fellow freelancers what your journey is. And then, well, if
mm,
you can afford, get
right.
a mentor. A mentor is important because it's the
Mm,
shortest way to success. Because having a mentor, it's like hiring someone who's already in the position that you want to be in. So they will help you avoid the mistakes that they have made along the way. So that's it. If you want to go into
exactly.
freelancing, definitely you'll have freedom. You're free. It's like you have freedom, but again, it's a business. You're like an entrepreneur. So that's the challenge as well.
Yeah. That's just the sad thing, Lay, about most of us Filipinos is that, it's like, oh, if there's a certain payment, we're like, okay. Well, we understand, we are in the pandemic right now. A lot are having a hard time budgeting. And I think it's somehow with a mindset that if you know that you will have your ROI, whatever you have invested right now, and you're going to work on it, there will be a return. So
Yes.
I'm sure you have you have that mindset, and which has now brought you to where you are now.
Yeah, definitely. It's
So
also a mindset shift.
that leads me to my last. Sure, sure. Sorry. Yes, Lee.
Okay, so the last question, why is now the best time to shift
Hello,
digital?
Lee.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes. Hello? There?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
all good,
why is
all
now
good.
the best?
Yes.
Okay, why is now the best time? Because as we mentioned earlier, during the pandemic, there are a lot of businesses that are shifting to digital world. So there's more demand for us to support these clients, these businesses. And then like a lot of businesses, they don't know how to, everything's in chaos. It's a transition for them. So now's the best time to go into the online world.
Mm-hmm. So, with your experience, like last year when there was a pa- pandemic, where
Mhm.
were there more interviews that you made compared to the previous years?
Um, there's more, especially now that businesses are coming back also. So I think what they noticed is it's important to be relevant to have their business visible in the digital world. I've mentioned, I'm sorry, I'm not being biased with
Right.
social media managers, but I've just had a lot of hirings for social media managers lately. We have a lot, not because you're teaching it, but because it's the reality right now with our agency.
It's true. It's
Um,
true. Yeah, right.
yeah, the way that most businesses got survive the pandemic is like being visible online. So they saw that, and then now that even if the businesses are opening up, the restaurants are slowly opening up here. They realize the need
Right.
to be visible. So yeah,
True, true. So the more there is a
yeah,
demand
the more
at
there is.
this time. So this is what I well, I'm being biased because I'm offering the course, but I truly
It's
believe
a
because
reality.
that I got a lot of clients, yeah, through social media, and it will be here to stay. So the best time really is now. So yeah, so for anyone out there, if you want to have some questions, feel free to shoot it in the chat box. And while Leah is still here, Leah, would you like to promote something, your page, or yeah, would you
Um,
like them to
I'm
like your
just working with
page?
class. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I'm not promoting my page. I'm not posting anything on social media. That's embarrassing. Maybe I need a social media manager.
Yeah, I think you're too busy with, yeah.
Yeah, maybe what I can say is like one tip, just reach out to
Okay,
people who
be
you
the one
want
to
to.
promote them in my page.
Yeah, I'll just promote them to your page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, I won't hold you too long. Thank you so much, Lay. I'm so happy to talk to you after a long time. It's been
I
more
think
than
it's been
last time we met.
20 years. There goes our age.
20 years, gosh. And it's because of social media that we're able to
To
reconnect
connect.
at a much better, what do you call this? Much better
Situation in our lives.
situation, I believe. So yeah, I hope this will not, I hope this will grant me another time because you can really offer a lot. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank
Happy Mother's
you.
Day to you and to your mom and to everyone who's listening tonight, watching tonight. Happy Mother's Day. Stay safe, everyone. Bye, Lay. Thank
Okay, thank
you.
you.
Have a good
Bye.
morning there in Canada. Have a good